She's a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, she's one of a kind. Got that confidence and style. She's blowing your mind. With every step she takes, she's owning the scene. A queen in a...
Well, hello and good evening. Tonight we are going to talk about faith, because faith is my strong point, and faith is something that I know if I don't know anything else, then I know my faith, and I want everybody else to know their faith. But the thing that I want to talk about tonight is where you will have people who are not so much spiritual or religious, either one, spiritual or religious, that write on faith and talk so much about faith that you would wonder why people who are spiritual or religious don't hone into that faith themselves, right? So I told y'all a couple days ago that I'm an avid reader. I read a lot of self-help books, growth books, the Bible, of course. I read many books. I'm a reader. So because of the class I'm in, I recently read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, I can't say if Napoleon Hill was a religious guy or if he was a spiritual guy. I don't know. The book was written in 1937. So a lot of the books that I'm reading are older books. This one's 1937. In the first two chapters, Napoleon Hill talks about desire, and then he talks about faith. The Bible tells us God gives us our desires, right? It also tells us that we have to have faith in God in order for those desires to come through, in order for them to come into place. We have to have faith, but we also have to be willing to do the work. So we have to have a couple of things in the beginning. So in the beginning, he starts in chapter 2. Chapter 2 is all on desire. But it also, it talks about the desires that you have, and that you can't get those desires without having faith. So it goes on into chapter 3 about faith. And so with desires, it says, desiring riches with a state of mind that becomes an obsession, then planning definite ways and means to acquire riches, and backing those plans with persistence, which does not recognize failure, will bring riches. So the book is called Think and Grow Rich. So of course it's talking about growing rich, right? But we can talk about growing rich in many different areas of our life. Rich is not always financially. You can be rich with love. You can be rich with family. You can be rich with your support group. So when we say rich, people always want to think about riches as far as financially rich. That's not always the case. Some people feel that they are more rich if they are well loved. Some people feel like they are more rich if they have an abundance of friends. So whatever your rich looks like to you is what your rich is. Some people want to be financially rich. Some people want to be financially comfortable. I think everybody wants to be able to eat and pay their bills. But then it goes on into chapter 3. And chapter 3 talks about faith. And when I say it talks about faith, it talks about how you can have a lack of faith and so much more. But one paragraph that I highlighted, or one sentence that I highlighted out of this chapter was, Christianity is the greatest single force which influences the minds of men. The basis of Christianity is faith. No matter how many people may have perverted it or misinterpreted it, the meaning of this great force, and no matter how many dogmas and creeds have been created in its name, which do not reflect its tenets. So you have to have faith. If you wish evidence of the power of faith, study the achievements of men and women who have employed it. So basically saying, if you are questioning what faith is, study the people who use faith as their power. Study the people who know what they know as far as faith is concerned. It says there that Christianity is the number one thing that can change people's minds into faith. I'm not a Christian, and I say it often, I have a relationship with God, but that doesn't take away from my faith, and it won't take away from yours, because like I said, all of these people who are not religious nor spiritual have a faith in something that they will make it. Now, they might not necessarily say that their faith is in God. They might say that their faith is in something else, but maybe they're even saying that their faith is in them. Odd enough, right? But they have enough faith in themselves that they will achieve something, and they do, because they have the two main ingredients, the desire and a faith to do it. And if you have the desire to do something, you will figure it out. Like, you will wake up morning, noon, and night about that thing until you get it. You will achieve goals that you never thought you could achieve. You will set milestones that you never thought was possible because of where you came from or who you are. And all of these things, where we came from, who we are, our background, bachelor's degree, whatever, none of that plays a role in us achieving the desires of our hearts. None of that plays a role in it. What plays a role in it is the faith that you have, that you can and you will. That you can and you will. Now, yes, you will definitely have to do some work. You will have to be determined. You will have to put in the footwork. There's things that you will have to do. But as long as you have the faith and you do not quit, then you will obtain that desire. So first is knowing what you want to do. And we don't even always know what we want to do. And if you are a person like myself, it changes quite often, okay? Speaking for me, it changes quite often. 1 minute I want to be super flexible with my time. 1 minute I want a routine. 1 minute I want to work from home. 1 minute I want to be outside in the world. But all I do know is that I want to live comfortable. That's what I do know. I know that I want to live comfortable. Everything else works around me living comfortable, okay? So that's what I do know. Do I have a dollar amount for what comfortable looks like to me? Absolutely. So you have to know what you want. I am a person who knows outside of that one thing. I am very flexible with the things that I want. So my desire is to live comfortable. Now, your desire may be something different. Your desire may be to be rich. Your desire may be to be married. Your desire may be to have children. Whatever your desire is, you have to figure out your roadmap to that desire. In Think and Grow Rich, it gives you 6 definite steps that you need to take in order to achieve your desire. Now, because if you want to be rich, because the book is called Think and Grow Rich, or if you want to, like myself, be comfortable, you have to have a definite number. You have to give yourself a date of when you're going to reach that number. And I'm going to give you the 6 steps, step by step, in the way that they gave them. They said, fix your mind on an exact amount, meaning that if you want to be rich, what's rich to you? Because rich to you might be millions of dollars. Rich to somebody else might be billions of dollars. Rich to somebody else might be $500,000, right? So think of your definite amount of money that you desire. It's not sufficient to merely say, I want plenty of money. You have to be definite. The second step is determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. So what do you intend to give in return for the money you desire? Are you going to sell something, or are you going to provide a service? What are you going to do in order to get that money? Third, establish a definite date when you intend on possessing this money that you desire. Is it possible to do it in a year? Is it possible to do it in 3 years? And are you okay with it being done in 3 years? You have to be okay with that too. Fourth, create a definite plan for carrying out your desire. So now you need a plan. You know the money you want. You know what you intend to do to get the money. You have a date of when you want the money. And now you need to create a plan. So go ahead and create a plan for the money that you desire. Fifth, write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire. Name the time limit for this acquisition. So that's what it is. Just write it out. I'm sorry, my eye is burning. Write it out. A statement of when you plan to acquire this money. So my statement might look something like this or sound something like this. By August of 2024, I plan to earn my dollar amount of money for me and my family in order to live comfortably. What comfortably looks like to me is, and I can say the things that would be comfortable to me. 6, read your written statement out loud at least twice a day, once in the morning and once before you go to bed. Those are the 6 steps that Napoleon Hill says it will take in order for us to achieve the desires, riches that we want, right? And so again, your desires for your riches might be something else. It might not be money. It might be family. I want my network to be this by the time this date comes. And if you have a date and what you plan on doing to get your network to be that size, it will definitely get there. All we have to do is have the desire and the faith that it can get there. There's some other things that's in the book now, because it is a 11 chapter book. I think a little bit longer than that, maybe 14 chapters. And so it definitely gives us the steps and the processes in order to get there. But if we read the book and don't do anything with the book, and it kind of won't happen, just like faith without works is dead, right? So in order for your faith to work, you have to work it. It's like a muscle. If you don't work it, then yeah, it kind of just won't work for you. So you do have to work it. You do have to work the steps. And there's so many more other books that you can read in order to help you get to where you want to be. But this also connects in with last week's or the video a couple days ago about how do you talk to yourself, right? Because however you talk to yourself will also play a part in this. So first, you have to be talking positively to yourself, because if you can't even get that part down, you definitely can't get to this part. And this is why self-help books come in. And so a couple days ago, I keep wanting to say last week, but a couple days ago, I told you I read The Power of Positive Thinking once a week in the beginning when I first got it, and then at least twice a month. I came across that book early last year, 2023, and I've loved it ever since. But I was already on the journey of self-help books and growing and growth in the process, right? Because you don't want to be what your society says you are. You don't want to be what your environment says you are. You want to be who you say that you are. And so in order for you to get there, you have to put these books in your reach, in your ear, in your mind, and start talking to yourself in these ways. If you didn't get those things at home, if you didn't get those things at school, if you didn't get those things in your community, then you have to build them up in yourself. And even if you did get them, but along the way you allowed somebody to tear you down in those areas or in a specific area, whatever the case may be, then you have to restore yourself back up. And so you want those books, you want to get those things that are going to help you be the better person or the best person that you could possibly be. And then when you get to the next level of earning the Think and Grow Rich, earning those levels, my friend list that I want, my support that I want, my social life that I want, whatever it is that you want, then you get to that next level of being able to achieve those things. And so it's a step-by-step process. Nothing happens overnight. And we have to also understand and give ourselves grace through the journey. So you have to give yourself grace through the journey, because if we don't, we will be so hard on ourselves. Why am I not this? Why is this not happening? Why is this? And I'll tell you what, the best life lesson is failure. The best life lesson is failure, because that means that you have tried. And once you try to do something, you didn't fail at the complete thing. You may have won this piece and lost this piece. And then, okay, I got a little bit of this piece, but I didn't quite understand that piece. So you didn't fail at the whole thing, but the number one thing you did was took the first step, the initiative, and you tried. So you didn't fail. But the number one lesson in life is what we would consider failure. Because if I tried it and I failed, I know what worked and what didn't work. Now I could take these pieces that worked and the pieces that didn't work and go back and see what might work now and compare notes and see what I can do to switch things up, and I can come back and try again. We all have that right. We all have that privilege. We all have that opportunity to come back and try again. And as long as we don't lay down and stop, we didn't fail. The only time you fail is when you quit. So if you continue to go, continue to figure out a way, turn your ears on, turn them up, do whatever you got to do, and continue to come back to that thing. I don't care if it takes a year. Maybe it takes a year for you to revamp and tweak and make it as perfect as you want it to be for you. But once you get it there where you want it to be for you, and you come back and you try again and you see a better version of it, and now I won at this piece, and this piece. This piece could be tweaked a little bit more, but I didn't fail at it. But I won at this, and this too. Okay, so now I go back and I tweak it again. And so we keep doing that, and we keep repeating the cycle until we get it perfected to our liking. Not to theirs, this, that, and that. And to our liking. And then we can run with that thing. So that is process of elimination. That's all it is. You might have some friends and family check some things out. Hey, how does this look to you? Does it sound okay to you? But even in that, you don't want too many people. Hear me when I say, you don't want too many people testing your product, reading your product, looking over your product, because they didn't receive what God gave you. Okay, you hear me? They didn't receive what God gave you. He gave it to you because it's yours. And so if they don't understand, or if they are not in a good place for themselves, then your thing becomes a negative thing. And everything that they have to come back at you with is negative. And then you beat yourself up and you think, oh, this is not right. I shouldn't even have thought I could do this. And you start pouring all that negativity back into yourself. And then you start feeling this big and you decide, I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to stay over here and keep doing this thing that I've been doing forever. And I'm just going to stay right here and stay put because they said that it's not worth it. So even in that, be very selective and very careful of the people you decide to share your baby with, if you will, okay? Because you'll have those people who don't understand entrepreneurship. You'll have those people that don't understand wanting to go to the next level in corporate America. You'll have those people who don't understand you wanting to grow because they're complacent with where they are. They just don't understand. And so if they don't understand it, why on earth would you think they think that you can do it? Because they don't even understand it. So when you pick those people, be careful. And what you might want to do is have a network of people who are a little bit more ahead of where you're trying to go. Those are the people who's going to be your cheerleaders. Those are the people that's going to be pulling you and saying, come on, you got it, you got it. Yeah, I can help you do this. Or yeah, I can show you how to do that. Or girl, this is great. Guy, those are going to be those people. Because you can't go to the people back there who don't understand. You can't go to somebody who has been an employee, not even in leadership, for all of their natural life and expect to show them your idea of why you're going to step out on faith and run your business and you decided it's time to go. And for them to say, yes, you can do it. They're going to be like, girl, you better keep your job. Like, what if something happened? What if you don't make no money? What you gonna do then? Those are gonna be those people. So those are not the people that you want to be running to show your idea to. Those are not the people that you want to say, you know what, I think I'm gonna leave this Section 8 and I'm gonna go ahead and buy me a house. Those are not gonna be those people, because those people are gonna say, you better keep your Section 8, girl. What if your house break down and then you have to have the money to get your appliances and you don't have the money? But if you want Section 8 and you a renter, then all you got to do is call the landlord. And if he don't fix it, then you just call Section 8 and they'll make them get... Those are not the people. Those are not your people. And I'm not saying to cut those people out of your life, because we don't ever do that. We always remember where we come from, who we are, where we come from, whose we are. But I'm not going to share those ideas with those people. Everybody is in a pocket. And so I have this group of people, and you do too, that you can call in this situation. You have this group of people that you can talk to in that situation. And this group of people over here, well, these is the hangout folks, and I can do, that's how your network of people work for you. And so you know who to reach out to, when to reach out to them, okay? That's how life works. And so everybody is not in one same bucket, and we're not all the same. We all have different ideas and different backgrounds and opinions and things that we've been through in order to get us to the next level. And sometimes when that next friend is ready to get up and go on their next, You are the friend that they know that did this thing already. So, oh my God, I already got one person who has already went on this journey that I'm trying to do. Maybe not the exact same thing, but have some tips and tricks and information that I know that I could call because they already tried to do this, or they already walked away from that. And so they can definitely support me and give me some ideas on how I can get there. God put us here for that. That's the reason why we're here. And when we become familiar and comfortable in ourselves to say, okay, I know enough about this that I can help that person without being, I can't even think of the word, without feeling some kind of way that they're trying to come for my seat, my spot, my money, my customers, my friends, my family. They're not coming for that. They're just coming because it's enough in this big old whole world for everybody. It's enough. So when we extend a hand back and say, hey, come on, girl, I got you. I'm not worried about you coming and sitting in the seat next to me because we both going to get the same information, and I'm going to use it how I use it, and you use it how you use it, and you're going to attract who you attract, and I'm going to attract who I attract, but we can still lock arms and go at this thing together and share ideas and bounce stuff off each other's head. And now I'm not in this alone because one of my dear friends is here with me. When we can look at things like that through that lens, this world will be a much better place. It will be a much better place. Some cities will get bigger faster. Money will spend in your economy. Networks and cultures will grow and people will share information. And there's so much work to be done. But we can do it if we do it as a people. So y'all have a great night and be blessed on purpose.